everybody. How are you today? I'm Cinnamon Cooney. I'm your Art Sherpa. Welcome to the live event. If you're here on the replay, welcome too. It's really exciting to have you here with us today to paint this fabulous painting, Dreamcatcher. It's a really great first time painting, so if you've been considering painting, this is a great place to hop in. To everybody who's come into the live event and is painting along with me live today, as always, it is amazing to see you. Let's start our day by breathing in the good. And breathing out the bad. Let in that good. Let out that bad. And find our studio space, because we're taking some time for us today. And that is a special thing. And everybody here deserves a little time for themselves. Just a little bit. You can give the rest to the world, but take a little bit for you so you can refill that love bucket and give back. We're going to be painting this painting today on a 16 by 20 canvas. It's going to be really easy, and I'm going to guide you through every single step of it. If you look in the description, there's a materials list of the paints, and I highly recommend printing out or pulling up full screen a picture of the finished painting. So as I'm going along, you have that as a reference. That's in the description too, and I also have them on Pinterest. It's usually linked to the Pinterest, and then I also have it on Facebook, so you can find it there. And I think also Instagram. I've been really prolific. One note on the paint materials today, you'll see Southern Ocean Blue or Aqua Green. Right, so there's the Aqua Green, and there's the Southern Ocean. Other colors you can exchange if you're doing Liquitex Basics or Artist Loft is just look for a paint that's turquoise, that's pleasing to you, because that's the base color of our painting, and it just needs to be wonderful in your home. That's its job. So for the purpose of this painting, it doesn't have to be the exact tone or shade I'm using for you to get a really beautiful result. How is everybody? Are we ready to turn our can'ts into cans and our dreams into plans?
Oh man, there's a whole crew of them out there, and we've got over 100 people with us right now, and they're all just pouring in wishes and confirmation of wishes working, and sending us love, and just, you know, hoping for a positive, clear stream today.
I really am hoping for that too, because I feel like this is an important canvas to put wishes in. If you're at home and you're doing this for the first time and you're wondering what this wish business is, what we like to do is in watercolor pencil or chalk. We use these tools. This is Artist Loft pencils. They're a few dollars at Michael's, but you could just use kids' chalk in a light color. We want to write a wish. John is fixing my mic. Yay, so the sound isn't obnoxious. That might be a wish somebody was having right at that moment. We want to write a wish into the canvas. I encourage you to do this at home, but we like to take wishes from the people watching and put that out into the community, wishing everybody well. I know we have some in there. So we're going to do this on our canvas. If we miss a wish that you see in the live stream, go ahead and put it in your canvas. It's all to the greater good. I think, you know, as far as wishing goes, it's still very effective. So do we have some wishes?
Oh, we have a whole bunch of wishes here today.
All right. I'm going to be doing it in this blue because I think it will totally vanish into the background.
Yeah, I think so too. So first, Chelsea's wishing to do well on her test so she can get into the good school.
Oh, Chelsea, I wish you great success on your test.
Mm-hmm.
And to get into your dream school.
Mm-hmm. And Sue is wishing for help in her interview for the hospital position.
All right, so sending lots of light and love to Sue, that her and the interviewer really connect, and she finds her job at the hospital.
Mm-hmm. To Kim for a safe trip and a wonderful, happy wedding.
Kim, we definitely wish you a safe trip and a blessed wedding and a happy marriage.
Yes.
I wonder if they'll ever x-ray these and see all this, and you're going, what was she writing?
So some strength to quit smoking, because that's always good, yes.
Oh, you know, and I have to say this to you, while you're going through this journey to stop smoking, I want to personally send you light and love because that's a difficult journey. And I don't want you feeling bad about the fact that you smoked. You're just moving to a healthier state of being, right? And you can do this. I know it's hard, but you can do this. I've done this.
Yeah.
So that's why I send you extra love, because I think, you know, those of us of a certain age have been through that. And it's really a good idea if you can. If you can, it's a good idea, you know, for your health and well-being, because you deserve it.
And you know, I've seen a couple wishes for help to get lives back on track. And so for everyone who's looking for a beacon to find a path for your life, you know, we wish you well, and we wish you that you find that light.
Yeah, a guiding light back to your path.
Yeah.
That you hold your center and your well-being. Because you can do that. You can do that. You can find that center again and hold that.
Yeah.
Breathing in the good, breathing out the bad, taking in our centers.
And then I think the last one we'll try to squeeze in there is for good health and freedom from pain.
I am always wishing that for the community. There's one more wish. Remember, we wrote it down that was written in.
That's right. We have one more over there. I'll have to jump over. And that's to put in some love and energy for Cynthia and her sister Jenny.
All right, and then I wish that this painting reaches everyone who's looking to do a Dreamcatcher painting. I wish that it finds everyone around the world who be benefited by it.
And I wanted to say thank you to our moderator, Flame Gremlin, who helps capture a lot of that and make sure I can see it. So, you know, I really appreciate that.
Let's wish for a viral painting. So one weird place that you'd say that was a good thing.
I think so too.
All right. So we have these light words in here, but that's okay because we're going to just paint the canvas our turquoise blue. Now I know earlier...
Hold on a second. There we go. I got to get back over there. There it is.
So here's this turquoise. This is called Aqua, bright aqua green, but what they really mean is turquoise. Southern Ocean Blue is a version of this. It's a wonderful version of this, but it's a version of this. I think I'm going to just get a 1-inch bright here. That is a battered bright. I say 1 inch because that's about its width, and it probably had a number. Let's see what its number was. Its number was 20, but that's only important in the creative mark line. In another brush line, the number wouldn't necessarily give you the same size brush. So that's why it's always important to look with your eyes and see how wide it is. That can make it hard when you're ordering online. We're just going to paint a solid coat of blue. And I don't want you to over thin the paint. I just dip my brush in the water to thin it. And I pull the paint out. Here's the load in case you're just unsure how you might get that on the brush. And it's okay, by the way, guys, if this is your first time painting, you're like, I'm not even sure how to put the paint on the brush. That's all right. You're at the beginning of a journey. You can't judge the journey by the first step. It's no indication of where you're going to end up. How you begin is not how you'll end. So don't put too much value on it. I hope you guys are doing great today.
Yeah, everyone is really excited about the painting.
Oh, it's going to be so fun and so friendly and so easy. You're going to really enjoy it. I have to give a special shout out to Secret Soto.
Oh, yeah.
My fellow YouTuber, because she's been so supportive of this particular painting. I know she's a person with a very bohemian heart and design sense. She has a wonderful YouTube channel. She uploads every single day, which I admire very, very much. Does a lot of great projects from her home.
Rhea just pointed out we got 135 people hanging out with us right now, so thank you guys.
Oh, I love celebrating that we're in a room of like-hearted, like-minded people. Isn't that lovely?
It is. Just all these people hanging out with us, painting or chatting. Chatting about painting.
Chatting about painting.
Sometimes chatting about other things, not painting involved.
If for some reason all you had was phthalo blue, cad yellow, and white, you could mix a turquoise color, creating a blue-green with your phthalo and cad and adding white to it until you achieved your turquoise. And if you go to any of our ocean paintings, we cover that formula. Though, of course, I'm with everyone else. If you can get the Southern Ocean blue and the Australian sienna, totally worth it. Now, on this coating, what I'm trying to do here is just get the white of the canvas to go away. I'm painting with acrylic brushes with a synthetic fiber.
Now, are those Simply Simmons?
No, these are not, but we're going to go get a whole set of Simply Simmons because I'm so into my mom's brush she left here.
Now, Carrie just went and did that.
How is she liking them?
Well, she actually had a question about it.
Okay.
So, inside her pack from Simply Simmons, they had something called a wash.
Yes.
And a bright.
Yes.
Could you talk about the two difference?
So if I had a wash in my kit, what I would be doing with that is thin glazes and literally washes. But on acrylic paint, if you thin it with water that much, you'll get underbinding, which is a fancy way of saying paint fall off your canvas. When you hear anyone say underbinding, what they mean is paint's coming off your canvas. The polymers doesn't stick. But if you were to use a glazing medium or say an acrylic airbrushing medium, which is just like water and you can thin it right down to water, then you could use that wash brush. I don't know what I keep doing with that. Then you could use that wash brush. Thank you, stunt hands. You could use the wash brush and use that, and that would be really wonderful. But they're very similar, aren't they, in shape? It's how much water they hold.
Gotcha.
How does it pull water into the brush? Washes will always pull more water in. And I think Simply Simmons is an all-purpose, all-media brush. So they probably intend their wash for watercolors.
Probably.
But, All right, so I've just got this thin coat. And I can see streakage of the canvas behind there because the Aqua is slightly translucent.
Yeah.
I'm having some nice tea today with my lovely, lovely owl cup.
Your owl, your sippy cup.
Yeah, with the sticker that survived the dishwasher. This is just a nice southern tea. So I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to breathe in the good because, hey, I've already resolved the white canvas. I don't have to be stressed about that anymore at all.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get out my Aqua again while this is having a little dry and getting tacky. And I'm going to put out some titanium white right here. What was that? Something is crazy there. I'm going to ignore that.
So Kim's asking, who is the daily painter? I'm not sure if she's asking us or if there's something in channel that's going on crazy about a daily painter.
Well, there's a lot of daily painters.
There are.
And then Strathmore Paper just hired one of the daily painters to do some videos, and that she got to demo her techniques there, which I thought was very interesting because you don't really think what a nice painting you can do in 18 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But if you paint daily, you just take a big brush and work it out. Of course, it's also, oil, stuff like that. So there's some adjustments. I'm going to get a sponge wet, but before I do this, I'm getting my sponge wet. And so I'm dipping it in water, I'm squeezing it out, and then I'm always kind of wringing it off in a towel. So this is messy, and I recognize not everybody embraces the messy. So I'm going to kind of demo a couple ways to get there so that you have some choices. So there's my sponge.
We have options.
I just want you to have some options. I recommend the sponging.
Gotcha.
Right? But if you're just like, I can't, you could, and I'll just show it a little bit and then you'll understand what I mean. You could come with a little blue and white in an arcing stroke, right?
Yep.
And I can afford to do this real fast. Just watch me do this real fast. And I've got, a little blue and white and an arcing stroke. And I'm coming out. And then as I go out, I could pick up more and more Aqua.
Kind of blend it out.
Right. I'd get more and more Aqua. This would be my second coat. Coming this out. Okay, and I would take that aqua all the way to the edge. So if you're like, I really cannot handle getting my hands dirty, it's okay. It's just, you know, that different strokes for different folks saying?
Yeah.
Really true. Literally different brush strokes for different folks is totally okay. But I really like my sea sponge I got from Michael's because it gives me such a lovely, lovely texture. So again, get it wet, wring it off in my towel. And I'm going to get some white on this sponge. And a little blue, but mostly white. Get it all around. And here's kind of how it looks. You can kind of see it's a hot little mess. And I'm going to just enjoy dabbing this texture, right, onto my canvas. Making this area here lighter. And then pulling it out. I liked this texture because I thought it was very nice for the Southwest style of the painting.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's where that, you know, was coming from. Very nice for the Southwest style of the painting. And so that's what I did. But again, and no one wrote me any angry notes or anything. I just know from painting a long time that there are people who, on a sensory level, really just don't enjoy. There's my daughter. My littlest one, Lunabella.
I may go check on her in just a moment.
That's okay. She probably needs some Dora. She's going through Dora withdrawals. My daughter has some very interesting TV watching habits. All my kids have been so different in their TV watching habits. Now I take it out to about this space on the canvas. And I'm going to zoom in for when John comes back so you can see that, how that's looking. Right? I've got this nice texture. So you see two ways you can get your gradation. You can brush it in and not mess up your beautiful manicure, which I do all the time. If you do mess up your manicure, rubbing alcohol will take it off. So, that's something good to know. I was going to have you kind of zoom in on the up-close cam there.
Okay, get you right.
Yeah, I just loaded my brush with more. See how that is? Now I'm going to take this out, and you can kind of see me sponging this straight aqua. So I've got this area. Nausea-cam! And, all right. And I'm going to take this straight aqua.
That's really close up.
Is it? I just want people to see what it, you know what I mean?
Totally
sponging can seem weird.
Sponging is weird.
Sponging is weird. Love it, though.
Yeah. We sponge, therefore we sponge.
We sponge, therefore we sponge. You know, and then just give it a little... What is going on here? Something is stuck to me. All right.
I'm going to get one of those remote control cameras.
Do I?
I need one of those. So I can move the zoom camera up all around on you.
Now, I didn't take my acrylic all the way out, so I'm going to just do that real fast. Make sure that I've got that second layer. Because my paint is so thin. If ever you're working canvas and you're like, you know, this is just really thin. Let me show you this fix right here for this problem. Hopefully you got it in the first coat. But if you didn't, just come along here. Right? Give yourself that nice lush second coat. If you're painting a student paint, you're probably going to have to give your canvas a couple of coats. But, you know, that's fine there. And then all I've got to do to soften that and give that the effect that I want is just to come a little bit with this sponge and break up that edge. And that edge breaks?
Yeah.
It's not a problem. I don't have to stress about it. And that's the important thing in painting is you just don't give yourself an anxiety attack. It's all good. This is just the light radiating out, the nice energy. I'm going to store the sponge in some water. And then I'm going to do a hair dryer.
Okay.
After taking a deep breath and remembering I can do this, you can do this, we can all do this today. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. We're with our friends. We got our restoring drinks. However, we're being restored today. I'm going to hit this with a hair dryer. Now, on the hair dryer, I don't use a lot of heat, and I move it around. If you use a lot of heat, especially in craft paint, it can make what's called color shift or darkening much worse. So That's why I do that. And I'm not plugged in.
Oh, well, I'll have to fix that.
I think I see where I would be. No? No? I don't even know where I'd be plugged in at. Where would I be plugged in? Oh, thank you. Well, that was fun. Sometimes that'll happen in your house, won't it? You go to get an appliance.
So, sorry guys, finally got back here behind the keyboard. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a nice time. Thanks for all of our moderators who are helping me stay on track here in channel today, keeping help answering all the questions and joining us. We've got about 140 people with us today. So thank you guys for coming by and joining us. We really appreciate it when you share your pictures up on Facebook and make comments and share this with your other friends so they can come in. While we're waiting for Cinnamon, we really appreciate it if you take to share the video right now live. And if you're watching this at home, make a comment and give us a thumbs up. All that really helps let YouTube know that you were here and you like what you saw, and lets us know that we should stay doing what we're doing. So now that Cinnamon's back, I'm gonna turn that mic back over to her.
Really? I get my mic back?
You do.
I do. So I love this textural background. So why am I bugging you all with sponges? Because later when we start doing some stones and waterfalls and things, it's going to make our stone work super easy. It's going to be a technique I show you. So sometimes I'll introduce a material just because it's fabulous and it makes art funner and easier, and it's a good thing to play with. But remember, again, if your hands don't want to be dirty, I realized, you know what else you could do? You could just do all turquoise and the painting would still work.
So I had a real quick question from Flame.
Hi, Flame.
So she got some paint for Christmas, and it came all chunky and glumpy, and the store won't take it back.
The store won't. Who's the manufacturer?
I don't know, but we'll ask in a minute.
If it's Liquitex, you can write them, and what they'll want is a photograph from you of what's wrong with the paint, and they'll take it back.
Okay.
Same with Golden. I think Matisse would too. The big companies will take their paint back.
Yeah.
Some with different levels of resistance, but the fact is that once it's starting to clump, you don't need to go out and buy another medium to thin it. It's supposed to come out like butter. That's what it's supposed to be, and that is just how it is. And I'm sure the paint companies don't like me for saying so, but that's true. And the store really should have taken it back. You should out that store, because that's not cool.
Yeah, I mean...
Not to be causing big war with retail chains, but come on.
Yeah, I mean, you paid for a product that should work.
And
right?
it's not, these aren't inexpensive products, right?
No, not by any means.
So what I need on my Dreamcatcher is a nice big plate.
Yep.
Right? And this helps me with my arc. And you can just experiment with plates. And I'm going to make sure that this is... Yeah, I think this is enough. I just like to make sure that it's enough. Another thing that you could do... And I'm going to round this out a little bit more. You just want to check the bend of your Dreamcatcher. Another thing you could do is a string to your chalk and hold it with your finger and create a fulcrum. Kids have taken all my string.
So she said that Joann's said it was normal. All paint does that.
That is incorrect, and Joann's has lied to you.
Yeah, they're just wrong.
And shame on you, Joann's.
Well, it was just that
Not
store.
Cool.
It was just the store.
It was just the store.
Well, I'm sure
that
it was just
store
the store.
shouldn't do that. John's like, don't, we got to cut it out
the
later.
Manager, no. It's just probably somebody didn't know there. This is just lack of
that's the
education.
thing that's happening in paint, and I really want to see that stop. And I would like all the companies who are responsible for this paint to stop it, because I hear it again and again where somebody was told paint does this and that's okay, and it's not okay. Any more than your tires should come flat and your food should come spoiled.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And I would be really mad at Kroger's if they kept giving me... They don't. They give me really good food.
If you bought a bottle of glue that didn't glue anything, it was all clumped up and not gluey.
And then they told you, well, gosh, guys, that's just how glue is.
No, it's not.
No.
But that's okay. We just
all
gotta
right, John's
educate.
like, don't go Sherpa
Don't
crazy.
go rogue. We just need to educate that it's okay to return bad paint, and people should know that they got to go to call the stores.
You know what I did, John?
What'd you do?
I left my black paint on the counter in the kitchen.
It went rogue on you.
It went rogue. I'm sorry.
Are you
it
sure
went
it's not
rogue.
up there in the upper corner?
He's gonna make me edit
It's
that
not
out.
in the upper. No, it's fine. And it's not there in the upper right-hand corner of your paint palette, behind your. I see something that looks like it's got a black tube.
No, those are
Okay.
the titanium whites.
All right, I'll go get it.
I'm sorry. I put it down. I'm sorry for going a little mental. I just wish companies would be like insisting that the products perform as they should. Yeah. What's a big retail chain? And they specialize in caring for crafters and creatives, and so it's important to me that they treat people well.
Yeah.
I guess is where I'm kind of coming from at this point with this whole thing.
I'm sure that I'm sure that
John's
manager
like,
just
oh my
didn't
God,
understand
we're
about
gonna
paint.
get a letter.
No, it's okay. I mean, we got to be on the side of our community to make sure they get the education.
I guess that's what I am. Is I'm on the side of the consumer because I've just been there so much and not enjoyed that experience.
Oh yeah, no,
and
I'm
certainly
with
not
you.
felt I would like it if somebody told me, "Oh, hey, that's just how it is, kiddos." And I'm just, and that happens, and it's just a prevalent problem. And I guess I'm gonna get kicked out of the art materials show. All right, so I got a 1/2 inch bright here. This is a Pro Stroke Power Acryl number 4.
Yep.
And I'm going to load it on my brush. I'm going to show you the load so you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But then conversely, you know, we also added Liquitex for being a company that backs its paint.
Yeah.
My friend Maricha the Junk and Data Girl had some paint that she had gotten that had curdled, and they just took it back from a picture.
And golden too, huh?
Yeah. Golden will really back its product. So
Yeah.
I give them a little grief about being a little techie oriented.
So I kind of imagine that if you bought a premium paint like Golden or Liquitex, and you were to call the local distributor,
National brands will back their
yeah,
products.
they'll help you with that retail.
But the retail stores also need to back the customer's experience with these products. It needs to be a team effort. So I'm painting on the edge of my brush, wondering how badly I've destroyed my art career. And it just makes me hot-headed. It does. It really does. And John is right. That can be somebody who's at the store who's doing that. But this is really prevalent around the country. You guys write me stories, and if I'd only ever had one story where one store ever in the universe had ever said that, I'd be like really chill about it. But they do this. So I made a nice black line, right? And this is about 1/4 of an inch thick. And I'm going to let that have a little bit of a dry. I'm calming down now. This was my calm down video
This was
too.
and you got all hopping.
I did.
You got paint curdling mad.
I got paint curdling mad. So I'm going to come about every few inches. I'm going to make a little mark right here.
Yep.
And I'm going to take this in real even increments by eye, but still even. Now, if you're a very, very technical person, it is okay to measure exact segments.
But these were hand tied and probably not exact.
All right. That's we're going to say what happened.
But generally, the Dreamcatchers they're hand tied. They're
Now, you can, if you're concerned about freehanding it in black, you could draw your little arc in your chalk. I really can't do that for you today too much because you wouldn't be able to see it.
Right.
As you can see there. So this is why I've got to do mine in black paint. But guys, you could really, really do yours in chalk first and get centered on where you think this is going to be. I'm going to start at my center one. And how I do this is I make kind of a leaf shape. So you draw your leaf shape. I'm going to just freehand in black my leaf shape. But you draw yours. Okay? And then paint it in. Get happy first. That's sometimes the secret of a happy painting. Is draw it in first. In chalk. Something unpermanent. And then you won't have that sinking horrible moment where you're like, oh, it's the whole painting. Which it never is because this is acrylic. And in acrylic you can always redo. And then I'm going to do this at the next little incremental mark that I made. A nice little leaf shape. It comes here like this. And comes here like this. This is a nice graphic way that I can tell the story of these ties. Super simple stuff. Super simple stuff. Coming here and coming around. And this also gives me a place to attach wonderful, colorful beads. I have some story about the Dreamcatchers in my description. About where they come from and what they do. But I think we all love the idea that something can capture our bad dreams and just let the good ones through. And I think we need to be our own dream catchers. That little stroke right there goes right off the canvas. You're doing this in chalk and then painting it in. Unless you're a crazy, crazy person like me and you're like, yeah, I got freehand.
And you're just winging it.
And you just wing it. Now, I'm going to go back through and make sure my lines are nice. If you're not enjoying painting thin lines with your bright brush, you know what you could do? You could totally switch to a detail brush, round. And that would be okay. Just perfectly fine.
Now, what type of brush did you use for the initial circle?
This one too.
The same one, using the same brush?
Same brush.
Gotcha.
Just making sure my lines are painted nicely where I feel okay about them. Right? That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I know there's a lot of dream catchers, like how to make dream catcher tutorials out there.
Mm-hmm.
Secret has got one. The Crafty Chica has one that I know. I just saw a Christmas dream catcher. And if you're here today when you did that, please say, it was me, it was me.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was really clever. You know, I love Secrets. Secret Soto. She had a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to see more dream catchers. I think we're going to see all of the little painters be doing dream catchers. But this is just a simple first little visit into the dream catcher universe on how you could do this. And then this one.
Now, what do you think of the Dollar Rowley System 3 paint?
I think Dollar Rowley is a very big company. I think they have a lot of integrity in their paint. And in my experience, it's been perfectly fine. I'm going to make a nice little circle here.
Mm-hmm.
That all of these are going into. This is going to be a bead in a second.
But you've not used much of it in your
I have used it.
Oh, okay.
I have, just not daily. What I've used, I've switched here to a small sharp filbert. It's a filbert because it's rounded. See how it's rounded?
We see.
But it's got a nice sharp edge, and it's going to give me a finer line. I'm going to come in and define some of my little lines.
Why don't you just a close-up camera there?
Okay, I'd be happy to.
Like move. Oh.
Nausea cam.
You zoom out just a touch.
Zooming out just a touch with nausea cam.
Whoop, wrong way.
That's the wrong way.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, see, this is just... I'm just having a little painting moment, and you guys can be as refined about this as you want. By the way, there's a really fun tool called a paint marker you can do this with, too. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to come up here between these two, and I'm going to say there's two little strings going off. One little string that's going to become some words that I'll get to in a second, and maybe another little string that's going to fly down for some feathers. And then I'm going to come down between these two and again give myself some feather strings. See the feather strings? Super simple feather strings. Now this next one I'm going to come down, I'm going to maybe make it closer to this little tie than say this tie. And I'm going to make sure that one of these has a slightly shorter string and then his friend might be a longer one. See? And that gives it that handmade look. And I've got to look at my picture here to see what I kept doing. And that's important, you know, you do your reference. You know, and you follow your reference photo. The reference photo is good. Just super simple, easy stuff. Breathe in the good, breathe out the bad. Oh, it's all okay. Just another little one tied there. And I think maybe I do one like here that blows over this way. And this one this way. So they get a little shorter as they go. If you see one you need to fill in that paint, clean up that paint, go ahead and clean up that paint. Remember, you can chalk in before you paint these. Now, I'm going to put this in water. I'm going to get a detail brush. And, oh, Lindsay's got a really good how to letter video. Highly recommend watching that. That's the Frugal Crafter. If you just search the Frugal Crafter, you'll find her. And if you do how to letter, you'll get a bunch of resources.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's actually really good at that, and I highly recommend it. I'm just going to write this in cursive is my plan here. So let me make sure that my up-close camera is right there so you can really see it. I might even zoom in a little bit. It's really green on this cam.
It is.
So green. It's not this green in real life, guys.
It's it's much more like the wide camera. It's the white balance. Remember what I told you about? The fluorescent lights and these cameras don't like Southern Ocean blue, is what it is.
Well, we're gonna be going into some red colors and some warm colors for spring, and I think we're gonna be moving away from Southern Ocean blue for a little while. So we'll see.
And I'm gonna get some LED lights and new cameras.
Yeah, and LED lights and new cameras because we'll be back to it because I like it as a color.
Yeah.
So I'm writing the word dreamer. Because I think it's important to be a dreamer. I think it's important to put your can'ts into cans and your dreams into plans. I think it's important to know that you deserve your hopes and wishes and dreams. And I'm going to paint in a little silhouette bird here. And so I'm going to come over a little bit. And I'm going to paint his little body shape, which is sort of like a little half circle. Little half circle. You could look up all kinds of silhouette birds and just trace any kind on here. I don't think this one is going to have a traceable because it's not going to be helpful to have a traceable for this. Because you're going to want to put in, you know, your Dreamcatcher, how you want to put in your Dreamcatcher. Now I'm going to add a little circle for a head here. And a nice little beak to come off. There. So he's starting to have a little bird body, right? And then his little wing's going to come up in an arc and then out. Just paint his little feathers. This is your dream. Arc those little feathers out like little eyelashes. This is your dream taking flight. Right? Maybe you could flick this little feather up. And really give those flight feathers some flick to them. Right? Give him some wind and some lift. And then off from this side, I'm going to arc out this way. And then also do a secondary wing. Because he's flying. These two would blend together. There that is. He's got a little flight happening. Little bird in flight. Now, he needs some tail, or what will happen? He will crash. So he's got that. So he doesn't. This dream is going to hit its destination.
Yeah.
is what we're saying. Give your bird some wings so he can fly. Give your dreams some wings so they can fly. You know? Believe in yourself so that, you know, not everybody has to believe in you, but you should believe in yourself. I'm going to do some little downward V's. I think we've all done these little V's in our lives. Of little birds' dreams. These are dreams that have already launched. Right? Make a little arrangement of dreams that have already launched. Isn't that nice?
That is.
I'm going to put out some of my other fun colors. I'm going to put out some Cadmium Yellow. Hue's a great place to save money in cadmium paint. And then I'm going to put out some quinacridone. Quinacridone magenta.
And let me go up there and get that close-up camera on the bird. Can you adjust that up just a little bit so they can see? There we go.
Yeah.
I just want them to have a chance to get a good look at that.
Yeah, just a little word dreamer. And we're going to get some cadmium orange. Now, you could mix your cadmium red and yellow to make orange. I just found that this color was beautiful and I like it. And so whenever I use a special color, you can always be like, yeah, no, not doing that. That's not for me. Cad red medium hue or regular paint, whichever. I'm going to put out some phthalo. And I should have dioxazine here somewhere. Now I'm like, where is it? I feel like it should. Ah, there it is. Dioxazine Purple. These feathers are bright colored, as are the beads.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I'm going to put out some more clean white. Now, I put out paint a lot thicker and bigger than you should be putting it out because I want you to be able to see the colors.
Right.
So this is not the amount of paint you should put out. You should be putting out little bits of paint.
Right.
And then remixing and going. And that's a nice way to save some resources. You know, I'm going to get back into this nice, crisp, bright. All right, this nice, crisp, bright. This number 4 from Creative Mark. It's got a nice Teflon fiber. It's got a nice edge. And I'm going to get a little bit of orange on my brush and a little bit of white. Let's see if we can see this here. See how it's not... Where is it going to see me?
You have to move your hand a little bit more over there. There you go. It sees
All right.
it.
See how there's like kind of white and orange, but they're not really mixed together totally?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to come down to where I'm going to do this feather. And you really watch this on the up-close cam.
Okay. We're to watch where your hand is there.
Okay. Is it good?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to have to probably be on the outside camera just to get so we can watch what
right.
you're doing.
What I really want you to see is me arcing up,
Yeah,
arcing up, arcing up, arcing up,
Yeah.
arcing down, arcing down, arcing down, softly flicking out.
Okay.
Okay? Then I'm going to do strokes that come out here like this.
All right, do one and then just we get a close up. Do one and then see. So they're just doing little flicks up. Okay.
Okay. So just little flicks up. And then as I get down to this brush, I'm going to start changing direction and moving to the edge to my brush. Moving to the edge to get that little taper.
Okay.
I'm going to grab some just white and no more orange. And I'm going to come on the other side and make the same little flicking shape. Super easy. Super easy. And then taper down. Then, not even washing my brush, I'm going to grab some quinacridone. Look how my brush is modeled.
That Passamaquoddy pink.
Passamaquoddy pink. And I'm going to just tip the edge of this feather with this pink. This nice fantasy feather. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do something kind of crazy. I'm going to get a little more pink and white. Still haven't washed my brush. Bananas person that I am. And I'm going to make another arc and flick out.
All right.
I'm going to come down so you can really see it. And I'm going to be wider up here at the top on this feather. Wider, wider, wider. Get white if you need more paint. White, and then I'm just coming down. And then as I get here, I do that twist where I go right to my edge and change my flick. And hopefully you can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the thing that's hard to see and know when you're new, is those subtle little movements, right? The direction, when it changes, how it changes, which is why I really like to share that. And then I'm going to continue that with this lighter color. I'm going to wipe my brush off on my towel and not rinse it. I'm going to get a little purple. I'm going to get a little phthalo blue. And I'm going to grab a little white. Crazy color combo. And I'm going to add another little feather there. Big brush strokes up. Let's get, are we seeing that really well? Okay.
Yeah, in order to get the, in order to see the brush stroke, I have to use the wide camera.
And then
just
switch back?
Yeah, because your hand's in the way when they make the brush stroke.
Oh, that's such a shame.
And then I get a close-up of it after you've done those brush strokes so they can see both.
Whatever it is that everybody needs to really get this where they feel like they've got that.
We have 155 people in here cheering for me to get the right view angle for them.
Oh, so they're helping you out?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like...
So I'm just making sure I've got a nice little feather. And that's how feathers are done. Now, I am going to rinse this brush out really, really, really well at this stage. And I'm going to get some white and some cad yellow. White and cad yellow. Again, not mixing. Not mixing, not mixing. And I think I'm going to arc this feather this way, just to give some different drama in the wind. Can you see what I'm saying there, John?
I thought this was a drama-free zone.
Well, you want drama in your paintings, but not drama in your life.
So your feathers can be... Wait, you're overlapping on... You're drawing over the top of another feather.
That's right, I am. A little bit.
But you just put that pretty feather in.
I did. And now I'm going to disrespect it with this paint.
That's so much drama. So you can adjust the close-up there?
Yeah.
So it's okay to paint over something you just
If it's dry or tacky enough for you to do a nice thick coat over the top, it is okay to paint yellow over purple. If your feather were still very wet and getting into your yellow, it would make your yellow a little gray, which is why I had rinsed out this feather in the first place. But, you know. Nice little, I like nice little dramatic feathers. Nice little drama feathers. So I'm going to get a little of my Cad Orange and a small amount of my Cad Red. And I feel like this needs to tell a story. And I need to look at my story over here. Oh, actually, I'm going to do this one right here.
Okay, what you going to do?
I'm going to come up and do this one because I have this nice little short feather, and that's a great place to put somebody.
I don't know where you... That you did not put the close-up camera anywhere close to where you're painting.
I didn't?
No.
It's not?
There you go.
Okay. I felt like it was, but
it was
okay.
off camera.
All right.
You left me hanging.
So I'm going to make a little feather right here. Just a little happy, simple feather. It's a happy feather. It's fluffy. Doesn't mind that it was plucked. This bird was left intact.
So Michael was curious if there's ever going to be a quest where we're going to paint on feathers.
Yeah. There's going to be a quest where we do a lot of stuff. At the end of the quest, you know, you'll have saved the world and changed your life and all the usual things that happen during questing.
Indeed.
Indeed. So I'm going to take a little of my phthalo blue.
And of course there'll be badges.
Over to my yellow. Back and forth. Because I feel like I want a green feather. I'm going to have to move this so I can see what the heck I've got going on.
Your reference.
And I'm gonna come back here, and I think I have more feathers in this too. So, this was bigger, so it was more feathered.
You put more ties in.
Yeah. So I have this little arc there, and we'll come down and really see me put in this arc. All right. All right, a little bit of this.
Get some more green.
A little more yellow. I want a stronger stroke of yellow on here, and it's going to become green on the feather. It mixes on the canvas. Get a little more yellow. You know, some of the feathers just have to be green. They have to be. It's important stuff.
I agree.
And I think it's important that sometimes, you know, the tips of them feel a little different than the beginnings of them, and
Yeah.
all of that. It's fun to do it. It's fun to play with it.
Your water's looking awfully murky.
Oh, it is. But I've got lots of water. And we have all these cups over here. So a little phthalo and white. Little phthalo and white. Maybe on this feather. These are very, very colorful feathers. Tips on your feathers can be, try not to have all the exact same size feathers. You want to have some little feathers. Bigger feathers. You know, other tips on this painting, if you don't have these exact colors, this formula will still work for you.
So
You're going to be okay.
everyone thinks that there's been a couple comments on how bright your hair is looking, and it looks like phoenix feathers.
I'm having it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been bright. I'm liking
bright.
it though.
Yeah.
So I got a little quinacridone, a little dioxazine.
And you're under a ton of lights too.
Yeah, dude. It's really a thing here.
You have to adjust your close-up.
I do. And I'm trying to decide how I want to tell the story on this next little gust of wind. And I may disrespect
maybe this feather going
here.
off the page or something?
Huh?
Do the feathers go off the page?
They can go off the page. They can come up and bug each other. Like this one's about to. This one's about to bug its friend. It'd be like, I'm all over you. Because the wind did it. It's not my fault. I got blown this way. Just find your little arc. You know, and that's the other important thing to realize is that your feathers will find their spot. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? That's a lovely passage right there. Now, next feather, I'm going to get some just white and not even rinse my brush because I think I'd like it to be like small but a similar color. I'm going to just tell a little bit of a story there. We can see that really well. When you get really used to the paint and the colors and the way they mix, projects like this become really exciting and fun because you're just like, oh, I know exactly what I feel like I want to do here. You know, I know exactly what I want to have happen. I'm going to get a little white, a little orange. And I'm going to curve it back that way. Oh, good. Up close camera seeing it. It's just sort of a sherbet feather. You might grab a little more orange and white to the side. And while it's still there, I think I'm going to get some just orange. I'm going to make sure the tip of this is nice and just a little more interesting. And I don't know, maybe like another kind of greenish feather could be fun.
I'm really just excited. I have to say thank you to the 170 people who are all out here joining us today.
Thank you, thank you.
I just really appreciate when we have a big audience. I love everyone tuning in. You know, when you're done, if you have a chance to share your paintings of this, I'd love seeing the paintings that everyone does.
He really does.
So
The dragon has been super exciting.
Yes.
the silhouette. Some of you guys have really embraced that it's my painting.
And we had that tribute painting of Spider and the Dragon.
The tribute painting of Spider and the Dragon was
That was so awesome.
awesome.
I loved it.
I did too.
I loves me awesome fan dragons.
It was so good. I'm going to take my little detail filbert. And one thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to come down each feather with a dark version of whatever color it is that they have. All right, so this would be the quinacridone.
Passamaquoddy.
Let me make sure that this is up here where the feather is so you can really see this. And I'm going to just make a nice little light line. So isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm. You have to adjust your close-up camera there a little bit more.
Okay.
I lost
Well,
it a
I'm
little
about
bit.
to come down. So we've just done one there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come hit this other one here. I'm going to grab some just purple.
We'll zoom down a little bit then.
Is it good?
A little bit more.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Whatever we need to be. Whatever we need to do. I'm going to come right here with the just purple. So, again, just adding water to the paint to increase the flow. But, you know, if you just got money, you could use airbrush medium.
Yeah.
Each feather, just find its darker color and just add some depth to it. Add some depth to it. Whatever that is. Whatever it is. Just go through and add some depth. You're a deep person. Your painting should be deep.
Yeah.
Your painting should be a wonderful, fabulous reflection of you. Just do blue right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I can come back and just do blue right here.
Just works.
It does. And then I can just grab some purple in complete laziness without washing. And add a little purple story there. Come give this little guy some purple. All the little detail spines are coming in. Super fun, super easy. Little red with some orange. Just a little bit. You know?
I do.
And then you're going to come and do a little blue. Little blue. Just something fun. Just something relaxed. It's just a relaxing piece. Now, we get to put beads where these are joining in different places. And you get to put them around your piece where you like. And you get to put a design up here. So I'm going to take a little quinacridone and a little Cad Orange. And I'm going to come, and I feel like I'm going to do sort of like a flower petal right there. I'm going to grab some
Just close, yeah.
You want more?
No, I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to just add a little half circle of that, and I like that. And the circles, I've got my little small filbert here if you're wondering. You could do a detail, whatever you're really comfortable with. I grab a little Dioxazine Purple and some white. I think I'll put out some purple beads by making little circles. I'll put them here and there. Not everywhere. Not nice?
Yeah.
And then look for other places that purple bead might go. Maybe at the top of this little green feather. Or over here at the orange feather. I like that. Now I'm going to rinse it out because I need to change it up.
You should take now that purple's a little light on the background, so could you take a close-up camera, walk around the canvas so we can see those?
So I've just got some little round beads. There's a bead.
There's a bead.
No beads. There's some bead there. I see a little bead there.
Yeah.
And over here, the green guy's got some bead.
Yeah. So they're a little light on the.
Because you want to take a little bit of the color and a little bit of the white when you make your beads. So I can kind of see some tying here. So I'm going to add a little round bead here. Maybe one here. And then I'm going to look for some places. Oh, I could go and make a round bead above this purple bead. Super fun stuff right here.
multi-bead.
And then over here at the yellow bead, I could go bead. Right? Just put some beads around. I'm going to make... I've got this sort of green color that was already happening over here. I'm going to add a bead there. One here. One right here, right above this orange, little bead. You know, there are times that you can always slow me down. You can always pause me and grab some more yellow here, and I'm going to add a little yellow bead right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to come above this yellow feather and add a little yellow bead. You can always slow me down. But what you really want to be able to do is just decide for yourself where you want things. I'm going to take some like quinacridone. You know, if you just had magenta or any pinkish red, it would work here. And I'm going to add some more beads. Come here and I'm going to put a little bead in. A little bead. Maybe there's a bead right here. There could be a bead right here. A nice little row of beads. And I'm going to get a bunch of these quinacridone beads around, because if I had these beads, I would like them so much. I'd want to put them on everything. And this guy could be beaded. See these beads that are happening?
I think
Happy
they're really
little
cute.
beads. Huh?
I think they look really good.
They're just happy little beads.
Happy little beads.
Happy little beads. I'm not even being ironic.
Yep.
I'm just looking for places for my beads to live.
I hear Luna singing in the background.
She's singing.
We loosely call it singing.
We loosely call it singing. We like it though.
Yeah, we
I'm
works.
going to grab some of my Cad Red, a little white, and I'm going to come around and bead some stuff with that.
Then when you're done beading, you have to walk around with the close-up camera so we can see.
Yeah, we're going to walk around with the close-up camera. You know. I like to have uneven numbers of beads. That's just the thing. Like it's not each one has 3 or each one has 2. There's a number of beads, and I'm gonna get a little more yellow beading out there. And you're just beading, you know, the amount of beads you feel like beading. Make it your own in life. Definitely. Make it your own. Find your spots to bead. Tell your color story, right? Because I'm going to come back with the dark. I'm going to outline all those with dark color.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, there's a lot of beads now when you think about the outlining part. Well, we'll take a quick tour. It's not really a long or hard painting. It's just that there's some detailing work you want to do. There's some stuff. You can just sort of see where those little beads are.
Mm-hmm.
They're just placed here and there. All right, but they need to dry a little bit. And while they're drying, I have all these colors mixed, don't I?
What colors do you have mixed? Wow,
like all the colors, right?
Why don't you pick up your palette? Because that's really pretty what you've got there with the quinacridone. Yeah. How it just...
I love it right around the white. I could have a whole painting made out of that.
How you just kind of went and did that. You probably on the close-up camera can get a pretty good shot of that too.
Yeah, I think we're good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make little bands of color that would be wrapped around my Dreamcatcher out of all these wonderful colors that I already have mixed. Little bands. Little dabbles of paint. Right? Little bands. Just some color.
And I have to say super thank you to all of our community. There's so many likes and loves and comments that are coming in right now. I have to really just appreciate everything that you guys are doing out there, because there's a lot of love being shared, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think they're amazing, supportive, incredible people. Best community on YouTube, not kidding.
You should just get their close-up camera more often. You leave them neglected.
Okay. So see how I'm just doing little dabs?
Little dabs of color.
Little dabs of color to decorate my Dreamcatcher. Right? Little dabs. Just decorate that up.
Now, there was someone was
Get
asking.
my detail brush out.
Actually, there's a couple people asked this almost at once. Could you use a Sharpie to sharpen up some of your lines if you wanted to?
You could use a Sharpie.
Or
Is it like fine art stuff? No, but you can use a Sharpie.
if you wanted to get all fine arts about it, you could probably find yourself an acrylic paint black pen.
There are.
But
Acrylic paint, black pens.
could
Now I'm
you-
making a dark
you-
line.
Yeah, could you get the close-up camera so we can see what you're doing there?
Yeah, thought I had it there. So I'm doing dark lines around these beads.
Yeah.
Just something to sharpen them up a little bit with a detail pen.
So you could do this with a, yeah.
Right, just do it around. What you want to do is just go around, sharpen it up. Sharpen it up. But just
So
sharpen
funny.
up some of your beads.
I swear I'm going to get a remote control camera soon.
Is it frustrating?
Oh, no, it's just funny because it's not frustrating at all. I have multiple cameras to go to, so it's just funny because you adjust the camera and then you
move
paint,
on.
You paint right
Because
off
I got
the edge of
too
it.
much stuff to do.
Yeah, you always just paint right off the edge of the camera. It's like right now, you're just off the edge of it.
At some point I should be back in. I'm just going around my beads with a slightly darker color. Just trying to give them some definition. Right? Just giving them some definition so they have some pop. These are little touches you wouldn't necessarily always be encouraged to do, but you know, they're worth it. And it's just brave to paint. Let's just be honest. The act of painting and believing in yourself is a brave act, because there's very little in the world that tells you you should believe in yourself, your dreams, your ideas, your crazy thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everyone tells you all the time how whatever it is you're thinking will likely kill you.
Yep.
It's just doomed for failure, and smart people know that they're doomed for failure. That seems to be the messaging sometimes. Not all the time. There are certainly pockets of optimistic messaging.
But your canvas is yours. You can do
yours.
anything you want it.
Yeah, this is one of those places where you can just start saying, you know, I think I can.
And you should do that more in life, too. Just say yes to life.
Yes to life. And I'm going to go through with white. All over with white. And I'll start up here so you can see me do a few on the up close cam, and then you'll know how we do it everywhere.
Yep.
Add a highlight to each of the beads. A little white one. All over. I do it on the right side. I'm going to do it on the right side.
On the right.
And that gives my bead some shine. Just a little highlight. You'll be glad you did.
Mm-hmm.
Also helps your bead feel round.
We don't want square beads.
Well, maybe we do, but that's a whole different complicated painting. Now, one thing you can do, like I have some areas in my lines I'm not loving. I can put out my Aqua. Too much Aqua.
We like that aqua.
We like my Aqua. Southern Ocean Blue. Make sure turquoise. Make sure it's fairly light. And you can go back. Kind of clean that up. Right? Just I got a little white in it for coverage because it's a little bit thin. And that'll blend better in the where I sponged. This won't destroy my sponging. Just wherever I feel I need to refine a line a little bit. I can do that.
So if you end
See,
up,
it's just acrylic paint. I can do that.
so there's a couple questions here. If you go back in here like with a Sharpie or a paint pen, and some of those may have different finishes, like some may be more matte or more gloss or things like that.
Well, and they may be really different.
Yeah.
Like it might be blue-black and it might really pop.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you come in with the Sharpie at all, you're going to be going over everything a little bit with the Sharpie.
Yeah.
To tie it together.
Do you think that like when you put your clear coat on the end at the end that would solve any of those matte
It'll
differences?
solve the shininess differential.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make everything matte, or it'll make everything whatever it is, it'll be whatever you painted on here. So it'll be matte, all matte, satin, all satin, gloss, all gloss. But if, the blacks all have undertones, they'll be brown or blue or red. There's actually tones to the blacks. And I think the Sharpie is a high blue black. It just off the top of my head. I mean, I could Sharpie on here to test it. So I think that's high blue black. And so that's just all you'd be dealing with is two things.
Mm-hmm.
The fade out of the Sharpie and how that fade out would affect your painting. And, because Sharpies are not as permanent as they say. And the differential between those two tones. But if you come back with the Sharpie, like you've got your painting in here, but you just work it with a Sharpie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whole thing, wherever there's black, it will all then uniformly fade together. It will all be uniformly what it is. And it will seem intentional. Multimedia artists work with these things all the time. They're so brave as a community, okay? Because they'll jump in and they're like, I'm going to use this and this, and it's going to work how it is. But they often, the really good ones, make very smart decisions about how they'll uniformly. I'm going to add a little blue here. I want to make this center design more interesting. Crazy person that I am.
Now,
guess what?
what's that?
We did it.
I know.
We did it.
It just cruised right along.
We did it. You did it. You painted a Dreamcatcher.
We need a dance.
That's not my real dance. This is my real dance.
We put our chill music up. We have our
chill music up, and so let's breathe in the good this week and breathe out the bad. Let's let the good dreams in and release the fears and the bad dreams. They don't serve us anyways. There's no point that being afraid actually serves you in what you're doing unless a lion is chasing you. So do check that. Is it a lion? If it's not a lion, just release the fear. And let it go. Enjoy your painting. You know that you can do this in any color scheme. You can do this big. You can do this small. You can add a Sharpie to it, not add a Sharpie to it. It's your canvas. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today on our live broadcast. Please share on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I love seeing your paintings, but even more importantly than John and I love seeing your paintings, you guys love seeing each other's paintings because it's a way of supporting each other. When you share your painting, it validates everybody else's journey. It's a wonderful, magical trick that happens out there. You put your painting out, and another person puts their painting out, and then you see collection, and then you realize we all did really good. And it's a way of building up and being additive instead of subtractive to the well-being.
Yeah.
I really like it. So I love seeing it. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. I forget Pinterest.
I love seeing the pictures.
Next time I see you, it's going to be for the beginning, the official beginning, you pair maniacs.
Yes.
Of the big art quest, where it's really all going to change.
Yeah.
But only for good, happy ways. You're going to love it.
Luna and I just want to say we love you guys. Say love you, Luna.
I need to do.
No, say love you.
I love you, Mommy.
I love you too, Luna.
All right, guys.
See you at the easel really soon.